Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be learning how to make a maze game in Scratch. This game involves obviously a maze through which we as this little small player have to navigate throughout using arrow keys, and we have to get to the end of the maze and touch this little blue dot. If we do, then the level will get changed and we'll go into a brand new maze, and we'll have to complete that as well and go forward through the levels to win the game. This game is a ton of fun and it's really easy to make in Scratch as well, which is what I'll be showing you guys today. So as always guys, if you enjoy, then make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you guys don't miss any future videos as well. But right now, let's get into how to make this fun game on Scratch. As you guys can see, I've got some sprites preloaded into this before I started recording. First, I've got the maze sprite. I've got a couple of costumes for this as well, and I have various mazes as well. I've also got a player sprite, which is simply a red square. You guys can change this to whatever you want, but I'm not gonna go into the design too much. I've also got the end, which is basically this blue dot over here at the end of the maze. What that is if we touch then the level will get changed and we'll go into the next maze. But right now, let's get into the coding. Firstly, I'm going to go to the player and program the arrow keys, which is the simplest part. I'm going to go to the events tab, grab a when green flag clicked, go to control, grab a forever loop and stick some if loops inside there. Correctly 4, so that we can program the arrow keys up, down, left, right respectively. I'm going to grab out a key space pressed key and change these to up, down, left and right. Okay, so now we're going to stick the change x and y positions inside these if loops so that we can actually get the arrow keys functional. I'm going to go to the motion tab, and here you can see the change x, y and change y by blocks. For the up arrow, I'm going to change the y and increase it by about 3, I guess. You guys can change this to whatever number you want. For the down arrow, we're going to go for 3, but to make it move downwards instead of upwards, we're going to go -3. Same for the x. I'm going to change it positive for the right arrow and then negative for the left arrow. So if we try this out, then now our player should be fully functional, up, down, left and right. However, our player can right now just go through walls freely, and that's not what we want. So the next thing that we're going to do is program the arrow keys. But before we start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it such that when the project is rerun, our player will go back to its original position, which is x27 and y -169. So all we have to do is select one block here. So I'm going to say go to x, y and these coordinates just below the green flag. Great, so here's our arrow key script. Now for the wall script, so that our player doesn't go smashing through walls everywhere. This script is super easy and all you guys have to do is just follow along. Firstly, we're going to go to variables and make two variables, one called old x and one called old y. As you can see, I've already got these here, and both of the variables have to be for this sprite only. This is extremely important, otherwise the wall script won't work. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the events tab and grab a when green flag clicked. Then we want to go to the variables tab and grab two of these set my variable blocks. We want to set one to the old x variable and one to the old y variable. Then we're going to go to the motion tab, and down here we've got x position and y position, and we're going to put them into these slots like this respectively. Then we're going to go to the control tab and drag a forever loop in. I'm going to stick this under here, and then I'm going to put an if statement inside. I'm going to also go to the sensing tab and drag out a touching color block, which means that we're going to change this to the color of the walls. So I'm going to use the eyedropper key and I'm going to change this to the color black. Great. So now we have this in place. All we have to do is go to the motion tab and grab out a go to xy block, and then we're going to put the old x variable in the x position place and the old y variable in the y position box. Then we're going to duplicate these two lines and then put it underneath the if loop. Note that these two blocks are outside the if loop. And that's pretty much all we have for the wall script. If we click the green flag, then you can see that now if I click left and right, our player can't go through walls. Same for up and down. Brilliant. So now that we have the player fully functional, all we have to do is make the maze and the end functional. We're going to go to the maze, and the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to move it a little bit upwards so that it can actually fit on the screen. So I'm going to go to the events tab and grab a when green flag click, and I'm going to grab a go to xy block. I think I'm going to change this to -1. Let's try this out. Great, now it's fitting on the stage. The next thing that I want to do is I want to change it to its first costume. I have a couple over here and you guys can put in as many levels as you want for the game. I'm going to make this maze first since I like it the best. So we're going to say when green flag clicked, I'm going to go to the looks and we're going to say switch costume to maze 4, or which is the first costume, maze 88. Okay. You guys can do whatever you want. This is completely optional. Now that you have this in place, the next thing that you want to do is that when we touch the end, we want the player to broadcast a message telling the maze sprite to change the level. So you're going to go to the player and we're going to grab another when green flag clicked. And for this one, we're just going to say forever if I'm touching the sprite end, which is that little blue circle up there, I'm going to tell it to broadcast a message telling the other sprites that we have to change the level. So I'm going to say something like next level. There. Now that you have this in place, I'm going to go to the maze sprite and I'm going to say when I receive next level, I want to switch costume. So basically next costume. There we go. Now let's try this out. Say for example, I'm going to try to get through this maze here real quick. Okay, so now that I'm at the end of the maze, let's see if this works. Okay, you can see that this is a little bit glitchy because every time I try to touch this, it's going to change the maze unlimited times. So let's see if we can find a way to fix this. In fact, let's see. I think how we can fix this is that every time we touch the end, we're going to have the player reset back to its spot over here. I think that's going to be how we solve the problem. So here we have the script where it broadcasts the message. I'm going to go to motion and say go to and the starting coordinates, which are 27 and -169. So it will go back to its original position. So let's try this out. I'm going to try to get to this maze one more time and we'll see if it works. Great. So as you guys saw, the level got changed and that's pretty much all you can do for this game. Now, it's a ton of fun and you guys can go through multiple mazes that you have added into the game and it's a ton of fun to play with others as well. Another thing that you can do if you are playing with your friends and trying to set a record is add a timer. That's really simple and it takes about 2 seconds. All you have to do is go to any sprite, it doesn't really matter. And what we have to do is go to the events tab, grab a when green flag clicked. And before we do that, actually, we're going to go to variables and create the variables timer. This can be for all sprites. So now that we have this, we're going to say forever increase timer by 1 or change timer by 1 and we're going to wait 1 second. We're also going to reset the timer at the start of the game by saying set my variable to 0 and changing this to timer. That's pretty much all it takes. Here you can see that the timer is running successfully. Another thing that we can do is if you guys want the player to leave a trail behind it as you go through the maze, all you have to do is use the pen category. You can add the pen category like this by going here to add extension and clicking pen. Once you have this in, all you have to do is click when green flag clicked. All we want to do is go here and grab a repeat until block and we're going to say touching end, which is basically that little blue circle. So repeat until touching end, you're going to say pen down and as soon as we do that, we're going to say pen up and then pen down again. Also, we're going to do one more thing. So when green flag clicked, we're going to say erase all so that all the pen markings on the stage are gone. Just like this. And you guys can create a trail behind the player as well. Hey guys, this is me from the future and while editing this video, I actually realized that some of the script was wrong and it made the game work incorrectly. So I just wanted to cut in and tell you guys the modifications that we have to make the script correct. Basically, it regards the pen category and the whole trail thing that we did. Here I said that you have to do pen up and then pen down, which is actually wrong. What we have to do is go to the pen category and between the pen up and pen down, we have to say erase all. Also here, if you remember, where we broadcasted the next level message, we changed the coordinates from x and y to make it go back to its original position at the end of the level. Well, we don't actually have to do this here. We have to move this down and do this between the erase all right here. And the last correction that you have to do is go to the control tab and add a forever loop on top of this repeat loop and all the blocks underneath it. That way the game will work. But yeah, that's all I had to say, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to like it, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. And also make sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel as well, because they're awesome too. But I'll see you guys in the next one with some more awesome content. Peace.